US President Donald Trump has made strong statements against both Russia and Iran, threatening to take action if he is unable to strike deals with both nations. In a recent interview with US media, Trump voiced his displeasure with Russian President Vladimir Putin after Putin criticized the leadership and credibility of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump emphasized his frustration, but made it clear that he still values the relationship between the two countries. However, the tension remains high, especially since Putin called for Zelensky to be removed from power. Trump responded by saying that such a move would only delay peace talks, making it harder to resolve the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Trump also mentioned the possibility of imposing secondary tariffs on Russian oil, with rates ranging from 25% to 50%. If Russia continues to block progress toward a ceasefire in Ukraine. If no action is taken soon, these tariffs could be enforced within a month. However, Trump also made it clear that his anger would subside quickly if Putin decides to take the right steps. And both leaders are expected to have further discussions later this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest developments. Trump's rhetoric on Russia is stronger than what we've heard from him in the past. Despite expressing his anger, he insists that their relationship is still in good standing. But Putin must understand his frustration. Trump's criticism of Putin came after the Russian president made statements on Friday suggesting that Zelensky should be removed from power. Trump rejected this idea, pointing out that such a move would only drag out peace negotiations in Ukraine, which he is keen to end quickly. Regarding Russia's actions in Ukraine, Trump made a stern warning. He could impose hefty secondary tariffs on Russian oil, ranging from 25% to 50%, which could come into effect in just a month if no further progress is made on a ceasefire. However, Trump emphasized that if Putin makes the right choices, his anger would quickly subside, and they will have more opportunities to work things out in the near future. On the matter of Iran, Trump has been equally assertive. In response to the Iranian president's recent rejection of direct talks with the United States, Trump warned that if Iran does not agree to a deal regarding its nuclear program, the consequences could be severe. He threatened military action, saying that bombing Iran in such a scenario would be something the country has never experienced before. Trump also mentioned the possibility of imposing secondary tariffs, demonstrating his willingness to take strong action if Iran continues to push back against negotiations. The tension between the US and Iran has been escalating ever since Trump withdrew the US from the 2015 nuclear deal, a decision that has strained relations between the two countries. Additionally, Trump stated that any attacks by the Houthi militia, which is supported by Iran, would be seen as an attack by Iran itself. This stance further justified the US military's ongoing campaign against the Houthis. Despite these tough words, Trump did note that the US and Iran are still in talks, although this is in contrast to what we hear from Iran's side, which has not confirmed these negotiations. Abbas Arni, a senior research fellow at the Center for Middle East Strategic Studies, provided further insight into the situation. He pointed out that Trump's approach to Iran is complicated due to his decision to withdraw from the 2015 nuclear deal, a move that he believes created unnecessary tension. Trump's recent threats, according to Arni, are part of a strategy to put pressure on Iran. He described it as a way to present Iran with a false choice: comply with US demands or face further aggression. This aggressive strategy, however, has not deterred Iran from exploring diplomatic avenues. Arni explained that Iran has agreed to indirect negotiations, signaling a willingness to find common ground despite Trump's tough stance. From Iran's perspective, they have been open to a diplomatic solution but are wary of the mixed signals coming from the US government. Trump has publicly expressed a desire for a negotiated resolution, but at the same time, he has also made military threats and talked about the possibility of reimposing sanctions. This has created confusion for Iran, which is seeking clarity on the US's true objectives. Arni noted that the Iranian leadership wants to know what the US truly wants from these talks before making any major concessions. He also pointed out that Trump's past actions, like pulling out of the nuclear deal, have added to the mistrust between the two nations. Iran is therefore cautious about entering negotiations until they have a clearer understanding of the US's long-term goals. Arni also addressed the mixed messages coming from Trump's administration, noting that while figures like National Security Advisor Mike Waltz advocate for the complete dismantling of Iran's nuclear program, other officials like Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff are calling for more diplomatic approaches. This inconsistency has only made it harder for Iran to determine what the US truly expects and whether a diplomatic solution is possible. Despite these challenges, Iran has agreed to indirect talks, which Arni views as a step forward in the ongoing tensions between the two countries. In conclusion, while Trump has used both threats and diplomatic language in dealing with Iran, the road ahead remains unclear. The recent statements suggesting that the US and Iran are talking could be a sign of potential progress, but no concrete action has been taken yet. Arni believes that these indirect negotiations are important for testing whether both sides can align on a common objective. The situation is fluid, and both the US and Iran are likely to continue applying pressure on each other, all while trying to gain leverage in these complex negotiations. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates on this developing story and other global news. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay informed.